Oh, no service. Looks like I'm exactly where I want to be. Here we are in the wilderness of West Virginia. We found this absolutely beautiful green salamander. I'm trying to keep an eye on it because I don't want it to fall to the ground from where I'm holding it. So I'm going to let it go back in this rock crevice where we found it. So let me put him back right here. Alright, so these little green salamanders, they really are a fascinating species. And you can see how far we are up off the ground here. They are somewhat arboreal. They do spend their time climbing up in these sandstone rocks where they live in these crevices. They spend a lot of time in these crevices. Not only do they just hide in these crevices, they lay their eggs in these crevices, they reproduce in these crevices. They also hunt their prey, which can be a wide variety of different small insects and arthropods like little springtails, ants, small crickets. They'll even eat small earthworms. When it rains, they'll venture out of these crevices. These crevices do provide like a cool hiding place for them so their skin doesn't dry out. But as it rains, they'll climb out of these crevices, venture out onto the forest floor. They'll rummage through the leaf litter looking for prey, so they don't only spend their time here. But really cool species. They're the only member of their genus on the entire East Coast, found here exclusively in the Appalachian Mountains. So up in this crevice right here, there's another green salamander. You see, this guy's probably 5 feet up off the ground. I'm about 6 feet tall almost. This little guy, they love getting in these little crevices. They hold a lot of moisture. So that's another reason why they like to get at them. What has made this sandstone so great for these salamanders is that over time, just weathering from all the rain and wind has slowly chiseled away at this sandstone and made these indentations in these rocks for these salamanders. And they've just adapted to live in this kind of habitat. So it's really, really cool that we can come out here to West Virginia and find them. And one of the reasons why we come out to West Virginia is because this portion of the Appalachian Mountains, coupled with the type of rock and the elevation and the overall, year-round temperature, it doesn't get too hot for them. It gives them just a great place to survive and thrive out here in the mountains of West Virginia. The Hellbender is North America's largest salamander, and is also the third largest salamander in the whole world. They can reach a body length of up to nearly 30 inches, but most average about 20, and they can live up to 30 years of age, and some individuals have lived even longer in captivity. So, as part of my adventure here in West Virginia, I wanted to showcase some of my favorite salamanders. And this is actually a salamander that I've only ever seen one before of in the wild, the eastern Hellbender. The one I saw was down in Tennessee and it was a small one. But out here in West Virginia, I had a tip from a friend that the habitat is really, really excellent out here. It's, for the most part, it's a beautiful environment. And I found this big, beautiful, slimy devil dog, snot otter, call it what you will. This big, beautiful Hellbender. This animal, he's hard to get a hand on. Look at that thing. He's a monster, right? What a cool, cool animal. I am so glad that I'm able to share this experience with you, and
I mean, that's part of the reason why I've been making these videos, is I want to share these wild animals in these wild places with you. So you have a reason to become passionate about them and want to protect them for future generations to come.
These crayfish are a main part of the hellbender's diet, but they also eat fish, worms, insects, and sometimes even other hellbenders. Hellbenders are fully aquatic, and they absorb oxygen through their skin, so it's important that the rivers that they live in are clean, cool, which means they're also high in oxygen. Hellbenders usually breed during the late summer or early fall. After the female deposits eggs, the male fertilizes them externally, and then the male guards the several hundred egg nest for a little over 2 months until they hatch. Unfortunately, due to habitat loss, stream pollution, and collection, the eastern hellbender's population numbers are decreasing, and in several states, the species is listed as an endangered species.
Do we really want our beautiful trails and these beautiful streams to turn into scenes like this? Or do we want these beautiful hillsides and these rolling mountains to turn into cities of concrete? With our help, we can protect our beautiful rivers and perhaps save these giant salamanders from extinction.